Madam President, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests, visitors, my name is Christopher in full, and tonight I'm going to speak about my transitions that I've had throughout my life. It's 4 of them, and I'll go as quick as possible. Alright, in 1969 I was 10 years old, and as a strong-willed child I wanted to make this bomb. And I made this bomb out of hot ice in a bottle, and it exploded, and it cut the nerves and tendons of my right arm. And with so, I had to rehabilitate, and for a kid of 10 years old, it was difficult for me because I had to learn about confidence, to be back with my friends, and so on. And it was quite a learning curve for me because, you know, learning from that, I learned that dangerous goods can destroy your life, and you can even lose it. And my second transition was in 1981. I was 21 years old, I was in college, and I had this lovely fiancée, and she became suave because we lost all innocence. So we had to do the right thing and get married. So we had a daughter, and I got to know my daughter for 2 years. After that, she took her away to Cape Town, and that broke me quite a bit. I had to learn about emotions, and I had to learn that you can love people, and sometimes it's not good enough, and you can do your best and it's not good enough. And with this, I was very upset with God, and but life goes on. And that was 1981 for me. And then in 1988 was a good turn for me in one way. I met my lovely wife Thea, and I find Thea very majestic. She's a woman that's brought a lot of change in my life. In 1988 was also a very erratic year for me. A lot of things happened, and in 1988 I married Thea, and we were having our child Matthew, and in this same year my father dies before my son is born, and in this same year my father dies, and then my business was booming quite well, so I buy the house next door to my mother to acquaint her because my father's not there. My business is booming, I need my wife with me there, and so we're all together there, and it was a good idea but also not such a great idea. And I learned out of this that living in the fast lane is not a very comfortable place to be, because you've got to find balance in your life. And so I'll just slow down a little bit because I remembered having one of those burnouts. And then I came to the year 2000. The year 2000 was one of the most fantastic years for me. I turned 41. Wish it was 21. And this was very great for me. I got a phone call, and it was my daughter. Sorry. I didn't know that was going to happen. It wasn't planned. Anyway, my daughter phones me, and she's now 18 years old. I never saw her for 15 years. So we get to meet each other. I fly down to Cape Town, and while I'm on the aeroplane, I'm thinking, I hope my daughter does not have tattoos and piercings and funny hair, and hopefully, you know, front teeth at least. So I get down, and just before I get off the aeroplane, I'm thinking to myself, I hope they don't grab me and bliksem me and put me back on the aeroplane and chase me back to Durban. I mean to Joburg. So that was that little bit of experience. I get to meet my daughter. We sit down at the Wimpy. We get to speak to each other, get to know her. We go for a walk on the beach, and she's the most loveliest and beautiful person I've ever met. I never knew I could actually love someone as much as her, than my own parents actually. And until today, we get on very well. It's another 12 years later, and it's the most awesome thing that ever happened to me. And I've learned that through all this, that, you know, life is not all that bad. You know, you don't have to be cross with God. and things do turn out for the best at the end of the day. Maybe it wasn't a good idea. But lastly, I want to say thank you to Toastmasters for giving me the courage to stand up here and speak. It's making me a better listener, it's making me a better person, and it's giving me a better understanding of life. I don't know much more than that what to say. But thank you very much.